The old record player, Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody. Where do you want to begin? Have we begun already? The swastika, the Jack in the Box, turning over a new leaf. Bohemian Rhapsody. Saudi Arabia, the Arabian coffee bean. Darker, more oil. They're in the desert, away from the oceans. If you look at the Queen is number 8. No matter what you say about the Queen, you must say 8. If you say Queen and you say 8, you say Q for the 17th letter. 1 and 7 is 8. 17. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 equals 78, which is a replica of what I did in my last video. And in the 10-10 world, 7 and 3 and 2 and 8 equals to your 10-10. The Queen, the cards, when you play cards, the queens all have both their eyes, and every queen is holding a flower. Flower in hockey was Guy Lafleur, and everybody knows it back to the years of the 1970s, where Guy Lafleur played for the M Montreal Canadiens. C, MC Hammer, MC squared. Montreal Canadiens. 13 and 3 is 1 and 3 equals to 3 and 4, and 3, 1, 3, 4, 3. 3, 4, 3. Swastika. Does this look like a swastika? You tell me. This way, this way, this way. This way, this way, this way. The only thing missing in the swastika is here. Part of the swastika. How about this? I'm just going to sing the song. Pop goes the weasel, the nav, the jack in the box. Two-headed, one-headed antenna on the jack in the box. Low shoe square, MC square. How about the handle? In Hebrew, they call this the lemon, unless you want to just add it on to the swastika. One part of the swastika, one part of the jack in the box. If this is down here in the jack in the box, then wouldn't this one be up here? The bicycle. When you bike, you don't have both your pedals up here. One is up here, one is down here. The bicycle is the swastika, turning the gears, telling you the swastika is turning the gears. Saudi Arabia, Arabian beans, air, the air of man, the hat they wear. Why do they wear the hat? Why do they wear the suits and the clothing? The clothing, they say, makes you who you are. The old record player, what did you say? What did you say as it got bigger and bigger and bigger? The vibration comes from the small and expands. What did you say? I just woke up. I'm just telling you what my dreams were all about. Over and over again. Again, what records did we play? Why is the Queen? The Queen in French is a dam. A dam is what you block up. A dam is almost like the Suez Canal, where they dam up one end, they fill the water into the hole, they rise the water, they lower the boats. The cube, raise and lower the boats in between two sides. The river is down here, the river is up here. The L, the number 4. Repeat the 4 again, 44 makes the swastika. The record player, the Queen, and in the alphabet, because the Queen is the 12th card in the deck. Because the Queen is actually the 11th card in the deck when you remove the ace and you put the ace after the king, in which the 2 becomes the first card in the deck, in which the 2 ball and pull is electronic. But we all know 1 is first, 2 is second. Is that true? Maybe 2 is first and 1 is second. Man gets no heart until he starts to grow inside the woman's womb. Once the woman has grown the heart, when does the heart start ticking in the baby? You need to know when the heart, and what month does the heart start ticking. So the Q as the 17th letter, the L as the 12th letter, being the L as the 12th card inside blackjack would be the queen. Would also say the D for damn, 4, 8, 3. 3, 4, and 8. 3 and 4 is 7, 7 and 8. Again, communication of the swastika. We want to go over and do one more thing. The washroom, the mushroom. Any room at all to roam around, 51. The E-God, 7, 6, and 4. The iPod, the E-pod in French, they switch. Instead of the E for 5, it's I for 9. It would be 9, 7, 6, 4 or 5, 7, 6, 4 if you're playing Dopey, GP. How about Goofy? 7, 6, 6, 6, 7. 168 equals to the answer of 168 and 17 is 185. Spirit Matrix. The 5 brings on the same thing as the 9 card when you're playing cards, because 5 of the positions on the 9 card are in the 5 card. The 5 can disappear in the 9 card. 5 and 9 is 14, and also is the representation of Einstein, where 5 and 9 is 14. 14th letter is N equals to 28. 7 times 4 is 28. 5 and 9 is 14. 7 times 2 is 14. 7 plus 2 is I9. B, 2, G9 says big red dog. 8 by 5 is 40 plus 13 is 53. Has anybody ever watched Walt Disney, The Car of Herbie? Herbie, E, God, Herbie, the 2 world of Herbie. Have you ever seen this? Does anybody know what this is? This goes around your neck. This is the Magen David. It's also one of the buildings in America. See the cube that's inside? You put the cube inside of this, and it becomes the Magen David. Have you ever talked about weight? How much do you weigh? Do you weigh it in pounds? Do you weigh it in ounces? Do you weigh it in grams? If it was 36 pounds, it would be the letter R. 18. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8 is 17. Referring back to the queen. What weight? Because the weight multiplied by the letters of LBS, which is 19, 20, 21, 31, 32, 33. The 32nd day of the Super Bowl was pounds. The pound key, the doctor, the pound key, the number sign, the number 9 inside the pound key, 9 pounds inside 33 is 270, and 27 is 297. 2 times 9 is 18. 18 times 7, and 18 is a reflection of the temperature, in which 1.8 degrees for every 1 degree of Celsius will equal to the temperature in Fahrenheit. 7 times 8 is 56 again. 56 is a representation of 1, 7, which is 1 plus 7, and 1 times 7, which is 7 and 8, which is 15. 7 by 8 is 56, which is 11. 56 is the center core to D, E, and F, the depth, the federation of the vibration, because if it's depth, it has to do with vibrations, because man doesn't hear what he hears. He senses through his vibrant spirit, and learns only through the vibration with no words spoken. 7 times 8 is 5.6 plus 7 is 126. 126 is the dog pound man lives in. Number 26, 2 and 6 scoring, 62 for the queen, 26 for the flower child, 26 for Venus and Saturn, creating the only thing is the birth of the pie of man, the Saturn man, which represents Neptune, because Neptune is right here, is 7 and 8, the 7th gateway. The 7th gateway is right over here, because here's number 7. When you put number 7 next to the opposition of a V and a V of each side, it creates the X letter. The X letter represents the number 8 because it's designed to equal to the 8. Now, if I put the hat from the center of the Magen David on each side, now you can see the number 8 inside the creation of 7 and 7, creates the 8. 7 and 7 upside down, which creates the Z and creates the N letter. Will also create the 7th gate, and in the center again is a cube. 808. And if you look at 808, look up bicycle cards. They're always talking about 808. The mushroom equals 61, the one spirit of light. The one spirit of light comes from shit. Why? Because that's how they grow mushrooms. The two eyes of one side extended. If you take a look at this, this is the clam. I don't know what it means, but the center of the clam is area 50. But to get into this world, you must pass through around the area 50, which is also the area within your own body that brings up the light, which is also the difference of the question of the ladder of the DNA strand as she winds around and climbs up like the snake. ATM machine number 34. Creation of the 4, the mind of man inside the prism, which is the reader. Mushroom is 51. Mush is 61. 112, representing 56 and 56, which is the representation of two Earth moons or one moon of Mars, because there are 2. Korea, China, Vietnam. What is the actual truth? The gold in E and A of the communication, 11, 15, 18, 1 and 5. China, creation heaven, Aina, or 9. Vietnam, the life of man, the name of man, representation of the letters of what they say when you break them down letter by letter. And in French and in English, this says V, and the V alone in a letter is V-I-E. The V alone is a letter when you say V, V-I-E in French, instead of just V in English. V is 22 plus 9 is 31 plus 5 is 36. Creation of R, 6, 6, and 6. And 6, 6, and 6 makes 36. Or 6 by 6 is 36. Plus 6 and 6 is 12 is 48. Vietnam is the name for space in the name of man. If you take the Z and you flip it to the side, it looks like an N. But not in all cases. Because when you make the Z small, it becomes a small z, but the N becomes a U. It's a reversible. When you make Z, you make U, because the N is an upside down U. And when you make a small Z, it becomes the same letter as the regular Z. The N can be created to design the same shape inside its own square. When you create the Z, the U from the N is in its own square. You do not have to do anything but follow the lines, taking the middle of 2 sides, in which this line will count for this side and this side. This line will count for this side and this side. Therefore, these 2 lines count for the center and get a value of half each, or and overlap and get a value of 1.5. Letters, sounds, sorting, God's iPod. Now, the only reason I'm telling you this is because I just woke up out of bed and this is what was in my head. Golf. What does it mean, golf? To engulf, the Gulf of Mexico, 46, also stands for Israel. Asia and Triad. We're now connecting Asia 30 creation and the Triad system. Why? Because somehow they divided up amongst the world and they created USA. There's a possibility that Asia owns the world. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Bend over, my friends, so I can kick you in the butt. 2 ears, your organs, your throat, canals, levels of canals, different sections of the world that was built. I'm just looking over states, prime ministers, and presidents. To precedent. Area 51, re means to before. The pre means the before of, the pre-course. The dent in the car, the dentist, the dent in French meaning the tooth. Teeth are known to be put into cavities, which gets holes, and then they talk about holes equal to communication. The answer for president equals 9, 18, and 5, 27, 32. 16 is the spirit light, and 18 is 34, representing the 1. 1 equals 3 and 4 equals 1, 3 and 4, which now equals to 8. 16, 18 is 34, and 5 is 39. 39, where's 39? 39. SI, Area 51, is 19 and 9, which is 28, which is 7 times 4, which is the dog pound, which is where the cat lives, equals to communication inside the center of the dog pound, which says 8 surrounds, but there's only 1 to the center. 1 eats up 9, 1 eats up 8, sitting in the 9th position. Take away 1 from 8 equals to only 7 left over. Dent equals to 4, 5, 9. D and E are in a row. D, E, and F are the only 3 letters that fit in a row that have their sound to the family they are in, from where the E is after the D in sound, in the family of E, where the F is after, where the E is before, and the numbers are 4, 5, and 6 exactly the way they are in the alphabet. 4, 5 is 9, 23, 33, 43. The score of the football game, 43. 43, 53, 63, 71, 80, 90, 100, 110, 110 stories. The Twin Towers knocks down the president. EBF, Beijing. Letter F, letter B, letter Bay, letter B for the B, and the Jing, the jungle, the Beijing. Something in Beijing, okay, because the B has the E after it. The jing, or the jingle of the change in your pocket, okay? The jungle, the jin, Beijing, Beijing. I don't know what it means. I'm still working on it. To be prime, prime meat, prime state, prime minister. States and provinces, one more time, F8. Now, anything you want to do at F, you have to remember F has its own family. F is a family. Did you ever see F? F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6. Now, since they talk about 666 and FFF, you must speak about 6 minus 1. You see the division? You see the division? See the way the division splits between 4 and 5? See the way the division splits between 8 and 9? See the way the division splits perfectly, creating your T. All these empty spaces are just as much as a design as any one of these keys. Why didn't they make them round? 666 is before and after is this key, and this key. After that, you have to reinstate the reason for why. F10, F11, F12. They're all on the top row. Are they in the F family? What are they doing there? The other thing is when they call the festival just for laughs, ha ha ha, 8 and 1, 8 and 1, 8 and 1. If you take this, which is the Pontiac symbol, okay, and add a line to it, it becomes your 4. If you add a line on each side of this, it becomes your H. How does it work? I'm not sure. But we do know the trouble is within Jacob. Mentioned by somebody online, I took this where they mentioned trouble. Trouble is the word of 38, which stands for queen. 38 also stands for 21 and 17, which is QU. 20 and 18, which is TR, in trouble. 19 plus 19 is 38, DS and S. 18 I can't do, 17 I can't do, 16 and 22, which is P and V, or PVCs, or PVCs the way you want to see it, but the word ends up to be 91. 13 times 7 equals 91. Times 3 times 1, because the diamond goes for both sides to connect within the spirit light. Jacob equals 31. AD, creating the mind of man. 1 plus 3, 1 times 3 is 3 and 4. Earth and Mars is inside of Jacob. And Jacob carries its own letter. J-A is the sound of J in the A family, where the A comes after J, where it's 101. 10th letter, first letter, 1013. 1013 is 10 to 13. 10, 11, 12, 13. 10, 11, 12, 13. Don't forget, when you say 10, anytime you say 10 to 13 and it sounds like 3 areas, That 0 makes 4. 10, 11, 12, 13 is 40. 46 becomes Israel, becomes the trouble of Zion, is inside of Jacob, which is apparently the light of man. Man, 1 equals to 34. 6 equals to 52. Equals to 86. The light of man, 16 brings on the light of man. 6 times 52 is 312. 156. 156 is 78. 78 again is the communication with inside man's mind. 1771, which is the Tea Party, which becomes 39 and 39, which is SNS. 39 is STRU. It's rust. We talked about tarot cards. I'm trying to see if there's anything else in here. Mars upside down, the W says war. Okay. Oh, we were talking about 1 and 3. Okay, there is more for me to do. We were talking about 1 and 3, and 1 and 3 equals to the 91, which 1 and 3 says Mak. Now my throat is really dry and I'm a little tired. Que sera, sera. Asher, to hear from an ear is H and R together, says H'er. The ACH ear. 1, 3, and 8. 3 and 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. When you add it up, the total is 45, minus 9 is 36, minus 3 is 33. This ends up to be 33. ACH, between two worlds. The H connects the AC world to the EAR world. It's not me, it's the way it is. Snow White, putting everybody to sleep. B and H and T and H. Time, heaven, within your own mind, within the life you live, give you the time. Gloria, the songs they sing on the radio. Okay? I am the Lord. Songs they sing on the radio, the gold within the light. Delta, angel. Queen, queen. L and D both can be a representative of queen. At the same time, queen represents 11 and 12. When you remove the ace at the beginning, she falls to the 11, but she's actually 12, which is 23. If she comes in French, she becomes the D. If she comes in English, she becomes the Q. If you're looking at her and using the alphabet, she becomes the L. She becomes 1 times 2. 1 plus 2 equals to 2, and 3 equals to the back door of 78. And 78 is 3, and 8 is 2, making to the 10 world, in which 7 plus 9 equals 16, bringing on the light. Bringing on 1 and 6 is the 7th world. 8 and 8 is 16, bringing on the same light. Bringing on the division of the two worlds. Bringing on the light and life within the two worlds. 7 and 8, 7 and 8, 3 and 2, 5 and 6. Which number was I on? I want to see which number I was on. Yes, the L and D. The D, that's not the number I wanted to use. I think I was using number 5 or number 7 and 8. 7 and 6 is 13. 8 and 5 is 13. 5 and 6 is 11. 5 by 6 is 30 for creation. 5 times 6 is 30. Plus 5 and 6, 11 equals 41. Move over to the Mediterranean after you go 1 times around Monopoly and you bury yourself 6 feet down, 2 feet up, 10 little toes. This little piggy went to the market, but for now, put me in a box and shut me up in the ground. Shut up my life, but don't shut me up forever, because I'll never die. We never die. We only live forever. We're just removed from one area and we're replaced in another area. Why? If it wasn't us, it'll be somebody else. Raphael, 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. We were talking about 56, 7 and 8. This is your communication. The same thing, it's 5 and 4. 5 and 4 is 8 and 9. 8 and 9 in representation of the 10 world is 1 and 2. 6 and 5 in the representation of the 7 world is 1 and 2. 1, 2, 2, 1. The same thing. 1, 2, 2, 1. 6, 2 and 2 is 4. 1 and 1 is 2. 4 and 2, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe. 4 times 2, 4 plus 2 equals 6 and 8. 4 and 6, 2 and 8 is 10, 10, and it's the only two numbers that will bounce, that will multiply and add to equal to itself in the 10 world. No other one does it. 7 and 6 and 3 and 4 represent the moon's size, 34, 76 in size, or 73 and 64 become, in which two planets, Mars and Earth, where Mars, known as the number 4 planet, Earth number 3, the only two planets that when you say their names, they don't have the letter U, in which all other planets have the letter U, which equals to the electricity within. 1 times 2, 1 plus 2, equals to 3, and 2 equals to 5, equals to C, and equals to B, which is number 23 of creation, and 23 goes back into 78, which is in the thinking pattern of your mind of two planets, Uranus, to come around, to go around within the Earth pattern of Uranus and Neptune, which is how man begins to think. And I want to thank you for watching this video. Raphael 7286 in the constellation of Pegasus. Throw the dart. If you can get it through the hole, you've understood what you were thinking. Thank you for watching.